Welcome Capricorns, this is your July 20th to July 26th forecast, and the most influential events for you this week will be the new moon in Leo on July 24th, and then we also have Venus shifting, it's entering Gemini on July 26th, and these are going to highlight your love and relationships. So you're invited to realign partnership rhythms and birth a new collaborative chapter, and also set mutual intentions with your loved ones. And the recommendation is to create a co-creative altar so you can anchor your soul work together. And that's something that I've never done, so that's definitely given me an idea. So Capricorn, if you are familiar with that and you have done that before, then let us know in the comments how that works out for you. Let's get some more details here. So we have the Devil and the Six of Wands, as well as the Nine of Cups coming up here. Okay, so there may be some temptations, some vices, some distractions that are happening here that will come up to the surface here that need to be talked through, worked through, resolved. We also have you if I can get it out, potentially wanting to feel more fulfilled here. So there's definitely some things that may be distracting you and your partner from getting to that place. And I feel like these are like unresolved things that have been going on for a little while here. Like, this is nothing new here. These are things that may have been brought up by either of you in the past. And, you know, you may have made a previous commitment, or they may have made a previous commitment to adjust or change or work through those things. And you're finding yourself like back at square one and needing to work through some things again here. But you do absolutely have the ability to be successful here, and your fulfillment and success is really predicated upon you being able to work through this contrast here. Okay, let's see, let's look at some challenges here with that. Okay, so we have the Three of Wands here. Okay, so it could be that you don't have a good plan, or there was a plan, but then nobody, one or both of you, didn't stick to it in some way, or you were essentially just like, you know, got off track a little bit, and then it just kind of went to shit, basically. Like, no one aligned with it or executed on that path here. So that may be a part of the issue. We also have the Wheel of Fortune coming up here. Yeah, so this is about like falling back into those old distractions and not allowing the change, the growth to occur here. Not allowing those old cycles and old chapters to end. Not allowing that luck, that creativity to come through, and you moving on to new chapters, new beginnings, and what that can bring to you, like the possibility that's there, that not being as important as staying in that comfort zone or staying with that energy that's not aligned with you. So that's really sort of what's coming out here. So don't come for me, Capricorn. That's what I heard, so I need to communicate the truth here. But yeah, it's definitely about you like deciding what is more important. And for some of you, it's like, okay, just kind of staying in that comfort zone. But you're coming out of that, and you are really wanting to work towards better for you and your partner as a whole. We also have the Eight of Wands here as well. So this is just a little bit of a delay here. Like I said, we did have potentially some plans that were made, or agreements that were made, that you were both going to work towards these things, and then for whatever reason not being able to do that, and then the ability to work towards those things and to get it back aligned with both of your paths is the issue here. It's what's coming up as a challenge. Okay, so let's look at underlying. What's the root cause here? So we do have the Page of Cups. So, okay, so it could be, again, just that comfort zone and just like wanting to not have to focus on it because it's work, it's inspired action, it's effort, it's change, it's transformation, it's growth. And sometimes we do look at that as being something that if it's going to pull me out of my comfort zone, if it's going to, you know, I need to try, I need to do better here or there, then I'm not really for it. I don't really have the energy for it at this time. And, you know, that's just an example. But for whatever reason, just not being as focused is really the issue here. And again, potentially not wanting to come out of the comfort zone because of fear of what the future holds and fear of what this means for us now to be operating differently. And it could be fear of success as well. Okay, so let's look at your goals here. So we do have the King of Pentacles here, you wanting fulfillment, success, a strong financial foundation, a strong commitment, a strong partnership, a loving, healthy home environment. Those are all things that you're desiring here. Okay. So let's look at your approach here. Okay, so you may be coming through like really really assertively, like really just with you do this, I do this, like so what I'm hearing is that this is more of a collaborative approach. That's what's going to lead you to success, not just defining like you need to do A, B, and C, and that's just what it is. Okay, so it's about getting out of that energy and taking a more collaborative approach where the things that your partner needs are just as important as the things that you need as well. Okay, so this is about you both exploring what's important to you and then also exploring what's important to you as a partnership. Okay, and creating balance and moving towards what is right and true for both of you. Okay, not just for the one person. Creating win-win solutions that benefit all parties is what I'm hearing here. Okay. So we have the Five of Wands here as well. So yeah, there's definitely, we see some contrast here as a part of that process. But I feel like we're going to get into your guidance here, but I feel like that's going to be so beneficial to you to try to take a balanced approach, to be open, to be flexible, to adapt to change, to growth, to the needs of yourself and your partner. And as you decide, like, okay, these are the things that are a priority to us, these are the things we're going to work on and work toward, being flexible with that, revisiting that, as well as celebrating those milestones that you hit along the way. So just because you have a plan, you have goals, doesn't mean that that is set in stone and forever and you must do that or else you're a failure. It does not mean that at all. So just call on those collaborative skills, those soft skills where you're being flexible, where you're being open to change and growth. And don't force yourself or your partner into like a specific outcome. Okay? Be open and let it flow is what I'm hearing. What else do we have here? Interesting, because we have freedom here. So someone may feel like very restricted based off of the energy that's present here. And again, that could be like the requirements that you may have or your partner may have, the expectations that may be out there and being communicated by you or them or both of you. So this is really about recognizing each other as a sovereign human and knowing that you've made the choice to be together, not like, and hopefully this is true, but not that, you know, you're being forced to be together or you don't really have any option in this. So just remember, like, the thing that made you, you know, fall in the first place. And this is also about, like, just being open to, which I'm not going to go too far into that again, but I'm really strongly seeing and hearing this message of, like, being open, being adaptable, allowing yourself to evolve into something that is wonderful, that's great, that may look even different from what you were initially expecting and wanting and desiring. So let yourself go through that process, allow your partner to go through that process, and don't be afraid of the result, because if it does result in you two sort of growing apart and having different goals, then you're still benefiting overall in the grand scheme of things, because that's pushing you more towards your authentic self and towards what you designed for yourself to experience while you're here. Okay, so that's not a wrong thing for that to happen. So it's a really, also I'm hearing like trusting in the process and trusting in the outcome of the process as well. So we also have the King of Wands here. Creativity is what I'm hearing. Inspiration, compassion, understanding. Excuse me, those are things that you can incorporate into your process, into these resolutions that you're working on with your partner. Okay, I'm also hearing like balancing the divine feminine and divine masculine qualities here is also going to be helpful. Use your compassion, your understanding, your emotional intelligence, your empathy, as well as you may need to stand strong in your beliefs and in the things that you need. You may need to be assertive in trying to pull things together, as far as like, okay, we're gonna Thursday night, we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about, yeah, you may need to sort of set the stage and be that support that sets things up and that guides the path here. So whatever components of both qualities you can incorporate into the process where you're creating that balance again is something that may be helpful. So let's look at the external environment here. We have the Queen of Cups. So I feel like two things here. So there's soul family, there's other individuals out there that may have gone through the same thing or something similar that can be of service to you. So this may also be you joining particular communities and gaining ideas about relationships, about commitment, about conflict management, about establishing goals, about working towards your goals in a partnership. Like, there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of individuals as well that you could connect with if you feel comfortable and if you feel like sharing, that may have some wisdom for you, to give you inspiration, to give you ideas of how you can work through and resolve things with your partner. But I'm also seeing that there is a lot of love out there as well available to you. So we know you both have free will here, and I don't think that either of you are undesirable. So if you would decide, like, this just isn't for me, we've kind of grown apart, I'm going on a new path here, trust that there is still love for you, and that there's still going to be love available to you that is going to connect with who you authentically are. So if some of you do have this fear of not finding love, then that is very clearly coming out here as a message of like, that is nonsense, that is not true. And those are the things that you're being encouraged to explore about yourself when you are working on your spiritual growth and development. Like, what are the things that are not true about me? Okay. So what else is in the external environment? A lot of passion. Okay, so also, I am hearing that there could be someone that's sort of being like courted in some way, and you could quite literally have an open relationship. There's no judgments here. I just feel like for some of you, you do want to be mindful of your environment and what's going on, because again, it's not going to be for everyone here, but for some of you, like, there are other individuals involved here, and they are offering passion and lust maybe even in some cases love, and you know that word is defined very loosely here, but you know there are other connections that are available, and again, this is not going to be for everybody, but for some of you it's like, yeah, that's happening here. Okay, so if it doesn't resonate, don't take it. So let's look at guidance here. So we do have the Queen of Swords, clarity, honesty, seeing things very, very clearly. So you'll know what parts of this message resonate with you and are true for you. And this is also about coming into that understanding and being honest about what you're expecting, what you're needing, what you're wanting, what's going to make you feel fulfilled and happy here, and having the strength and courage to exclaim that boldly, share that. Okay. We also have the King of Swords here. Wonderful. So this is both of you here needing to communicate your needs. So is there, and again, this may not apply to everyone, but is there someone here that's not being truthful in their relationship as far as like what they need out of it, what they're desiring, what they're wanting? And I mean this like in a significant way, not just like one little tiny area, but this may be pretty significant here. And I think that you're going to find, for some of you, if that is the case, that your partner also is doing the same thing. Okay, so it may be just like an unwritten rule, or just how things are that you don't share at that level, you don't communicate at that level. If this is resonating, you are coming up here, and this is about you needing to figure out if that's continuing to be fulfilling to you, because I'm guessing that it's not. Okay, and if it's not for you, it's likely not for your partner either. Okay, so what else? We have the Nine of Wands here. Okay, so yeah, and some of this has also led to just building up the walls, being defensive, being emotional, not being as open and willing to collaborate, not being as open to work together here, to work on things, not wanting to acknowledge or admit the needs and the truth of your partner, or even your truth here. So this is really about letting those things out, standing in your power and strength, and being courageous and brave enough to communicate what it is you need and what you're desiring, and being brave and strong and courageous enough to listen to your partner and what their needs are, and respecting your partner's needs as much as you respect your own. Okay? So what else? Wonderful. Wonderful. I love to see that, because this is really that hope and faith and happiness and success and prosperity that can come out of clarity and honesty and restructuring things so that it fits and works well for both of you, and that both of your needs are getting met, and you're now working towards more aligned goals, not only for both of you and where you're going and where you want to go, but also for yourself, for your authentic self as well. Okay? All right, so what else do we have here? So we have healing. I'd love to see that here, because that is what this process can lead to. And also I do want to say, I'm not forgetting about any of you that are not in relationships, because these are all things that you can do with yourself. You can be honest with yourself. You can balance out those divine masculine and feminine energies within yourself. You can be open and adaptable and flexible with the individuals that you're dating or communicating with. So there's lots of ways that you can still apply these messages if you are single. You can also continue to work on your healing process as well. Okay? So that's so interesting here, because on one perspective, we do have a positive outcome and things. Okay, so the message is to trust that things are working out in your favor here. And I don't know if I said it in this reading, or I may have said it in another reading that I just did, as far as you getting to clarity, getting to truth, getting to your authentic self. And that means what it means. That may mean that you do go down separate paths in different directions. Or it could mean that you're able to reconnect on a greater level with new dreams, new goals that align for both of you. So whatever way, I'm also hearing rejection is protection. It's guiding you, redirection to the path that is truly meant for you. I think that's probably the better way to say it, that it's redirection. It's allowing you to heal yourself, to become whole and complete, and to shine your light so brightly that the one for you could never miss you. Okay? So we have taking action to carry forth the life that you want to live, and allowing yourself to think, plan, and also take pauses, but not get stuck in this mindset that maybe allowing sort of like those negative cycles to occur and to distract you, but taking steps toward your improved state of being, living, and existing. Raising your frequency, taking action towards that. And again, that can be you doing that together, or that could be you finding a new path for you. There is no wrong choice. It's all about what you're desiring and what works for you and what makes you feel fulfilled. So let's see. So we have manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and to continue to follow its guidance. So I think that's a really wonderful message here, because at the end of the day, that's all that you can do. Do what you feel makes you feel good, and open your heart. So we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point in trying to change that which is beyond our control. So again, like, this really ties into this message here of you allowing things to flow through you, allowing yourself to work through those issues, and staying true to who you authentically are, no matter where that leads you, no matter where that guides you. And then also trusting in you being okay, you being authentically aligned with you, regardless of what happens here. So that's a tough one. That's one that, takes a little bit of time to get to that space where you're okay either way. But that is a part of the process, and you will get there. All right, Capricorns. So those are the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great week.